Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. Tues UK here. Welcome back, guys. Changing the angle up. I've got me flexible arm that somebody said wished they was going to wish it would fall down. It didn't fall down, and hopefully it won't fall down this time either. But it does mean I can sort of, like I said, I could try and move it around a little bit and try and get some different angles of the games room for you. So we'll be on the PS1 games today. But we're talking about the Birmingham video game market. I can't remember what day it was. It'll be up here. I've got events coming out in A-hole, one every like 2 weeks. So I'm going to keep this quite short. Just go through the pickups, some amazing pickups, some fucking beauties, some honestly really. It's not very often I get a little bit excited about some of the stuff that I've managed to pick up, but these couple of absolute bouters, a couple of fantastic gifts, and I've got a little pile of Atari that I've picked up just along the way. I just thought I'd just chuck them in. They're part of a bundle deal, so I thought, you know what, let's just show them anyway. That was the door. That's what happens. I could edit all that out. But I'm not. So yeah, the door went. You could probably hear the dogs, and then the door went. So there we go. Real life. This is not scripted. This is not green screen. These are real. You can touch these. Anyway, Birmingham Gaming Market. Fantastic day. Really was. I think they did the staggered entrance again. I can't be sure. I think they did. It seemed to work out really well. Again, it was consistently busy. Pretty much on par with London. Usual faces were seen that were stalling out. Great to see Ant and Dana. Ain't easy being cheesy, eh, Dana? Although I don't think he watches YouTube anymore. He just proliferates off the back of retro video game collectors and Pokemon card collectors. But nice to see them lads. Fob was stalling out. Rich King Retro. All the usual people. All the usual people that you'd want to see at an event. And then there was one new chap who I've got some absolute crackers off. Really did. Mainly a toy guy. He was doing the NEC Toy Fair the next day, so I managed to bag these off of him. But I'll talk about that when we get to it. Just to sort of say again, reiterate my point I made. I can't remember when it was. Back end of like probably 2 Londons ago. There's certain individuals that will not fucking come to even look at my table, which I don't give 2 fucks about. But they won't even look at Daz's table. Daz has nothing to do with me. We just happen to go up in the same van. That's all it is. It's just convenience. And I just think it's fucking really piss poor that they don't. And even more so, a certain individual waited until I was away from my table to then use my game in her thumbnail, which I just think is a fucking piss take. You can at least have the fucking decency to ask and just say, is it okay and whatever. But no, you're that fucking sly that you'd waited until I weren't there and then did it. I just think it's shit. But that's the calibre of these people. I'm telling you, the fucking lizards, fucking grifting lizards, a lot of them. It only came to my attention on Facebook, by the way. So for them that thinks I'm some sort of like troll or whatever, or stalker, there's no fucking chance. Absolutely no chance. But like I say, birds of a feather flock together. Fucking your vibe attracts your tribe. They're all the fucking same ilk. And that just, again, enough said about that. But that really fucking balled my piss, that did, because that's just fucking disgusting behaviour. In my book, there was people there that were filming, and even people asked, didn't know who they were, not a problem. But this individual seems to think, don't have to fucking say anything. I'll wait till he disappears from the table, then I'll take the picture. Fucking joke. But other than that, it was a great day. Seen some fantastic people, met some new people, just general public people. If you bought anything that don't work, tough shit, no returns. One guy, I can't remember, there's a couple of people bought bits and bobs, so I hope it all works. Really I do, because I just took out the garage. No, I tested it all. It does all work. I know it does all work. But like I said, I've got some gifts. Got some gifts off my good mate Daz McCowan. Still got his Atari. I say his Atari collection. It's not in the collection anymore. It's up for sale. It's up for grabs. But he's still got quite a lot of it. He blitzed loads of it. Stalled, as in stalled, stalling. some of my Atari sales. So hopefully by the time he sold all these, I can move my duplicates on. But Daz very kindly offered me these 2 games. I think he was going to give them to somebody else, but they didn't turn up. So I was kind of like the second choice. But I said, look, mate, I can use them as tested, if nothing else. A couple of Japanese PlayStation 2 games. Beautiful Joe, New Hope. Is this the first or the second one? That is complete. I can't remember if that's the first or second one. I don't know if the second one came out on the PS2. I know I've got them on the GameCube, you see, that's all I know. And then one that sadly is missing the manual. I've got them both on the PS2. I'm not sure which one this is. Is it the first or the second one? But it's a Castlevania. That is missing the manual, though. I nearly sold these for Daz, but the guy didn't want to buy them because I was just going to sell them and give him the money. Because he didn't have any use for them. He just basically said the guy didn't turn up, he was going to gift them to. I won't say it was because they might be a bit miffed. But I said, look, I'll use them for testing if nothing else. So Daz, appreciate that. Not only that, he very kindly gave me a complete in-box ET. Look at that box. Looks like it's just come off the print. That's because it did just come off the print. No. Reproduction box. Had the original manual and I stuck my cart in there. This box is not great though. It doesn't sit the cart in it properly. But it'll do. It'll do for as a stopgap. Not a cheap game. Not a fucking cheap game. All these people, Americans, in the game crash in 1986, that never fucking happened over here. You know, all these were buried. Yeah, whatever. Makes them really... No, it doesn't. It just makes them idiots fucking like me want to buy it. So, yeah. At least I've got the cart and the manual anyway. So, if nothing else, I've got a nice display box there. All courtesy of Daz. We're currently April the 10th. And the weather is horrendous. Where is the sun? Where is the sun? That's what I want to know. Right. Trade. I did a trade. This has been probably about 8 months. Just before the last Birmingham market. I can't remember when that was. Martin. Known Martin for a good couple of years now. He used to come with his mate, Tony. Tony's not been to a market now for ages. But Martin reached out to me off the back of my video where I showed all this shit under the stairs. Because one of my console boxes was missing this controller. He said, look, I've got one. Do you want to do a trade? And to be honest, it's hard for me to sort of dig into the stuff that's in the garage for the events until I do an event. And because we're going to Birmingham, I said, look, mate, come along, fill your boots. So he got a pile together. I said to him, what do you value this at? Did a swap. He was probably a little bit over. I think I sort of said, look, just chuck us a 10 and we'll call it quits. He seemed happy. I'm happy enough. It'll probably take me another, 8 years to get back under the stairs to put this in. I said that to him. I said, we'll probably sit in a drawer now for God knows how long. But it is the Ice Blue N64 controller, courtesy of Martin. So Martin, thanks, mate. He was on about the stick, but it ain't going to get used. It's just to go in there to complete things. It's in lovely condition. Yeah, really happy about that. Again, it's just one of those little things just to tick off, just so I can complete boxes that I'm not going to do anything with. My voice is croaking like hell, and I don't know why. So we were in like the little side room in Birmingham. I quite liked it. I quite same as I quite like the little side room in London. It suits me down to the ground. The opposite us was Mark Jowett, the Sega Mags guy, and he had some friends, I suppose, mates from the sort of what do you call it, journalist, book writing, magazine writing thing. And I'd seen this guy early in the morning. Jay was there, Jay Cybersnake. We popped over and had a look. He had some nice games, NTSC SNES games. Sort of pointed out to Jay, but he had this particular game, and I sort of looked at it, and the spine's a bit faded, and he had this little price list that he printed off because obviously he's a journo. He's not a vendor. Bless him. I said, well, that won't last 5 minutes if you keep giving that to people. You have to start memorising some of them prices. But anyway, he had this particular game. It was probably top end, like real top end, sort of me and Jay looked on eBay, and it was like a bit, yeah, whatever. Anyway, towards the end, so I've got other stuff, but towards the end, I went back over and seen them, and it was still there, because it's one of these niche things that if you're into it, you're into it. If you're not, it's going to be hard to find someone to buy it. And I've always said this about people that buy all this stuff, and it's worth this much, and I bought it for a tenner and it's worth £100 or whatever. What you got to remember is, I was speaking to Jay from Get Gaming about this. So what people got to remember, you've still got to find someone to buy it. So it's all very well saying this is worth this much and this is worth that, but it is, maybe, but someone's still got to buy it for you to get that worth back out of it. And sometimes that ain't as easy as it sounds. Again, another fucking complete segue. There's this group, I think I might have mentioned, CX Retro Watch. It's a fucking joke. Right, it's a joke. CX Retro, there's fucking no retro discussed there. It's all every shit. And I had a fucking rant on there. And everyone's going, oh, don't get upset, Stu, like taking the piss with me. And I get it, but I just had to fucking vent, because people are just talking about shit that's not even fucking retro. The idea of this group is basic. People go to different stores for you, or just generally take pictures of the stuff that's in there, because obviously CX don't have pictures of you stock photos. And in theory, it's great. But I said to him, should we call it CX any old shite watch? Because it's just fucking random crap. But the guy who runs it obviously doesn't care, because it's getting traction. To me, it's, I don't know. I'm just getting old, miserable, and too fucking picky for my own good. But anyway, there's a guy on there, and he was banging on about some fucking Xbox games. Oh, really collectible, blah, blah, blah. And I was just, these are an investment, and they're going to be really collectible. And everyone's like, their Xbox 360 games, fucking thousands of them were made. You fucking moron. I think it was the orange box. Yeah, the orange box and the 360, Half-Life and stuff like that. And Portal, great games, but mate, they ain't going to be rare or anything. It's just shit like that. It's just people's mentality. They just get into this hobby. And I'm not gatekeeping. I've never been a gatekeeper. I don't give two fucks. But they get into the hobby with this fucking money mindset, and it just proliferates for everything. Like, especially YouTube is the worst place for it. It really fucking makes my piss fizz. Why it all has to be directed towards financial gain. Anyway, point being, the game I bought off this guy, and again, I don't buy many of these because they ain't cheap. There was another one there that I nearly bought just before seeing this one, because I went for a piss just before packing up. It was missing the manual, but I am definitely tempted if he's got it again. He didn't have it last time at the Black Country one. But at that price, I was really, really tempted. But I was meant to be just, again, sod's law, just creating some money to pay some debts off, because I just spend too much money, because I've got an illness, I've got sickness, and it's real. But anyway, I went back and I was speaking to him as this is all packed up. And I was just chatting to him, and he sort of said, he made me an offer that I just couldn't refuse. We had some technical difficulties with Daz. Lee said soonest mended about that, Darren. Which meant I didn't have much cash. So Daz very kindly lent me the cash, which I've then sent back to him for this particular game. And the game in question is for the mighty, the king of the hill, the fucking triple ounce fucking tomahawk steak of the gaming world, Neo Geo AES, Alpha Mission 2. So he wanted $350 for this. I paid $200 cash, which I think now is a really, when I've got back, I'm not a phone person. I've said this before. I don't do phones. I don't like fucking around with phones. It's not my thing. But when I've got back and looked, actually, this is a really good price. This is the UK US dog tag edition. I've got a couple of dog tags. Personally, I don't really give a shit. But some people put more onus, more weight towards the dog tag versions. But basically, this is a shooter. You probably all know that by now. The thing that really lets it down is the spine. As you can see, quite heavily sun faded. But other than that, it's all there. And like I say, for an AES title, in nice condition. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to get a bottle of spray or some, or draw out the essence from one of the other games, because it ain't really doing it for me. It's not. It's because I think because it's American English. It's got the manual. It's got the manual. Because it's American English. It's lost its smell. It's the only way I can describe it. It's probably the only AES game I've got that doesn't have the AES smell. No. Again, for those that may not know, AES carts, big, huge. But again, for those that don't know, AES is just literally the arcade version. It is the arcade own. There's no differences. There's no conversions. These are the games. So the guy did say when I bought this, he was like, I can't remember the wording he used, but basically implied it's going to get resold. And I said, no, he said, oh, it'll probably never get played by you, will it, or something? And Daz went, of course it fucking won't. To which he then said, oh, you're going to make a bit of money on it. And I was like, no. It's obviously, you don't know who I am. Not that anybody needs to know who I am, but clearly doesn't know. The running joke is I don't play any games, which is what Daz was referring. And I said, no, it will. It's just that it goes on the shelf, never to be played. And going back to my original rant, Mark Jowett obviously put about this individual and linked the video, which is where I saw the thumbnail. But I seen him comment, so that's how I knew it was. So I sent him a picture of this with the other ones. I said, I've just got to find a space for it. But there may be more to come, not from AES games, but more from that chap. So making contacts all the time. But super happy. So why it's a dog tag is because it's got the sort of bulldog, Neo Geo, bigger, badder, better. And I've got two others. I think two others. This is the third one in the fucking collection. But I think it's the only shooter that I've got. So there we go. But again, like I say, 200 nigger, man. It wasn't what I was intending to spend at all. Now that would probably be the penultimate fucking look at this amazing item that we found here. But what I did also buy from Ant and Dana, Ant and Deck, they put a picture on the Facebook group, Hidden Chest Gaming. I think it was a couple of different bundles of systems that had come in, and I'd seen this pile and I said, oh, what's that game there? Because I couldn't quite see it. All of them is an N64 title, and he told me, and then he took a picture. I said, I need that. So they very kindly brought it to the market. I purchased it off them for a very good price, probably about CEX value, I think, but condition wise it's worth more. If that makes sense. You know, I mean, you could drop lucky and get it for CEX for this kind of price, but I'm happy. Look, helps them out, keeps the lights on and stuff. So we've got, and it is quite a tricky one to get. I still need all the others. This is the only boxed one of this game series that I've got, and it's Mortal Kombat 4. They even give me the free box protector, which I think it probably came in. I can't speak to how these play on the N64. I must admit, I've never played one on the N64. Probably really should do. But yeah, quite, you know, broke the mold, I suppose, somewhat for Nintendo with the 18. I think when they brought the first Mortal Kombat out, and then Sega did the same, but they had the blood, kind of outsold it and made the SNES version look a little bit inferior. Let's be honest. So I think from a marketing perspective, they probably decided, look, we need to get on board with these. But yeah, there's a number. God, there's 3. It's a trilogy. It's the Ultimate Trilogy. I can't remember. It's not the same as the SNES ones, but there's also Sub-Zero ones as well. So I've still got to, let's say, this is the only one I've got box complete. Obviously, I've got them loose. But that means I've got a loose cart to move on. So I can sort of offset the value of the cost of it. So, again, last bits from Birmingham. I spoke about these when I sort of said there's a new chap there, new seller. He was mainly a toy guy. He was doing the NEC the next day, the NEC Toy Fair. Scottish guy, spoke to him, really nice guy. Denario, something like that. Not Darius. I'm sure it's Denario. He knows Alan, you know, Scottish Japanese Alan. Told me some quite interesting things. Not about Alan personally, but the shop and where it is and the area and stuff like that, which is quite interesting. he was selling these for his mate, apparently. Did me a fantastic... There was two that I was really after. But he hadn't priced them up, so I kept sort of wandering back to sort of see if he was there. And I'm a very quiet, reserved chap, you know, not like a fucking gobshite like me. So I said, I managed to get talking to him. I said, "Oh, what the price of these?" And what he'd done, he put one post-it note, but it's basically meant that all of them were the same price. So these two, there's two of them I grabbed straight away. And I looked at the other one, and he went, "Don't you want that one?" I said, "Because the only three I didn't have." I said, "I do, but..." He goes, "Well, we could work something on the price." So I think he ended up knocking 20 quid off. These cost me, there was 75 quid each. He knocked 20 quid off to 205 quid. Again, money, I didn't take any money with me because I wasn't spending anything. So I had to go and get me fucking thing to put on my card. Put it on the Never Never. But at these prices, you know, I'm more than happy. So the one that I haven't done anything to these either. They need a 9, they need a tighten up. I knew about this. I've never seen it in the flesh. I'm going to say it's on the last Renegades release, but that seems to be my usual. I can't see a date on it. I can't see a date on it. There's no date on it. Anyway, it's Mr. Do. Mr. Do. These are all complete as well. As you can sort of see, it's a bit, the ends are a bit squashed, but a good iron, good sorting out. No problem. Huge whacking manual in this. Bagged up as well. Yeah, nice manual. So that's Mr. Do. Blue Pearl software. I'm not going to say these were late releases, but I've got a feeling it was towards the end of its life. Let's just say that. Let's keep it simple so I don't sound so much of a knobhead. Towards the end of its life. So these two here, that was probably 75 is probably it's worth, I reckon, give or take. This one, again, probably around that price, maybe, depends on condition, you know, that kind of stuff. Jay went, "That's a crap game, that is." Yeah, cheers for that, Jay, after I just bought it, but never mind. Again, it's one for the collection. And when I see the software house, always reminds me of Mr. Bads. Mr. Bads has disappeared again. Let's see if I can magic him back. Where is Mr. Bads? And this is Robocop 3 by Ocean. I always think of Mr. Bads when I think of Ocean now. I don't know why. It's synonymous with Ocean. This is not the Amiga version. The Amiga version of Robocop 3 is really good. This one looks very much like a side-scrolling platform shooter. Again, it needs a bit of a fettle, but all there. Again, not one that I've seen in the wild per se. I can't sort of say that it's one that's very common. It needs again, it's got the manual, bagged up. All still needs fettling with, and then the last one, which is, you know, looking when I got back and looked. I knew this weren't cheap anyway. I knew neither of those were that cheap. But like I say, it's 75, less than 70, 60 odd, 68, 69 quid or whatever you want to call it. Well worth the money. This one especially. This is probably the bargain. Last Action Hero. And I think, or by all counts, not a bad game. Not a bad game. Again, another action platformer. Jobby. Looks just to be a UK V version because it's a single language on the back, and like I say, this really is in very nice condition. Needs a clean. It's got the back, like I sort of say, I've not even done anything with this. It's still out of the baggie. And we've got the Man of the Wow. Yeah, it's a UK V only one. So again, sort of, I don't know if it's a UK exclusive, but it's not a multilingual release, which a lot of these sort of SNES games tended to be towards the end. What are we on? 20 minutes, right. Last little pile of Atari. I bought a couple of bundles of Atari stuff. Again, just for some of the games I wanted, and I thought, strike while the iron's hot. Upgrade some of mine. The idea was to move some of the duplicates on, which will still happen. It will still happen. It's just I've got to wait for Daz to sell all his first. He is Mr. Atari. I can't. These ones are all together. Actually, I know that much. Well, these different bundles, like I say, but essentially, you probably don't owe me anything. One that I didn't have was Super Breakout. I had the manual for this and I had the loose cart, so I'm quite happy to get that box. Again, in nice condition. I'm not really having to do anything with either of these ones here. This one, really happy to get. Again, sold my loose cart on. I actually sold that at Birmingham. That's a Danky Kang. The old CBS boxes, not bad. You know, probably could have done more, I think, with the design on these, but yeah, the old classic Donkey Kong. A loose cart, and I can't believe I haven't got this game. I've got the manual, and now I've got the cart. It's at Dig Dug. Got the end label as well. Chuck that one in. Now these came from another different lot. These two are missing the manuals. I got these. These only turned up yesterday. The manuals did. That one was complete. So again, probably at the end of it, probably won't owe me anything. But a couple that I didn't have boxed. Again, some classics here. Ms. Pac-Man. I know James, Retro Import Gamer, was on about this one, so I'm quite happy to get that boxed. I ain't too fussed because there's different issues, like releases of the Atari games. You get like the silver boxes, the brown boxes, and you got the OG style releases. I'm not fussed. Not all games got re-releases either, so you know. But I think was Pac-Man probably did, as this probably did as well. Crystal Castles. I just watched Clint's Retro Rewinds video, and he's got a nice collection there, Clint, and a couple that I'm missing. Obviously, box ones. I'm not really. I'm not into collecting the loose ones. I don't. I've got a tub of loose ones down there, which I'm looking to get boxed. Probably the same as what he's doing. But yeah, Crystal Castles and Ms. Pac-Man was missing the manuals. I've managed to bag both of those. I think £3.50 each, something like that, and about another £1.50 posted from the same seller. And then again, another classic that I haven't didn't have boxed, and I think Clint was struggling to pronounce this. It's Galaxian, like Galaga. That's where the name comes from, because Galaxians was the first one, so they kept the name the same. Anyway, but yeah, again, quite nice condition on these. Clint made a good point. It is bizarre because these are like 40 odd years old, nearly as old as me, and some of them are in fantastic condition. They really are for their age. And yet you get some others that are just like ratty to hell. It is an odd thing, but there was a time 4 years ago, maybe. No one give a flying fuck about Atari. Only those die-hard idiots. And you could pick sealed games up for a £5. You know, that's where a lot of my collection came from. But I was only getting the ones that I kind of was not really interested in. It wasn't then until I started getting to the 700-800. Lucky I got those as well, and I picked some of them up. That I really started to pick up the pace with the Atari, and now I've kind of like the 2600 plus has kind of put a spanner in the works with the collecting on that side of it. So you can't, you know, I mean, you can collect for everything, of course you can. You can't buy everything for everything. So I had to, you know, pick my battles, so to speak. But yeah, we are where we are. I mean, I'm super happy with them stuff. I mean, the SNES games, the AES title, lovely to get an AES game back in. The bits from Dana and Ant, Martin and Darren, really appreciate that, guys. Right, it's got to be way over half an hour. That's far too much time for me. We are doing Oxford the 20th. Again, it probably won't be long, probably like a week if I can get this video up and out. So we'll do it all again. So other than that, YouTube, take it easy, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.